when you reached out to the New Jersey Attorney General, what did that office say to you?
Uh, yeah, I mean, well, at first they said, "Hey, we're looking into it. We're looking into it. We're looking into it." And then they did say, they came back and said, "All right, we are gonna not renew these and instead hold the investigation." The latest update, though, is that the hearing was set for July 19th on the liquor licenses, and that was so it would take place after Trump was sentenced because that would give the final verdict, I guess, on whether or not on his guilt. So they were going to wait till after July 11th to do that. Now, as we both know, the Supreme Court ruled that Trump has immunity in some circumstances. New York has postponed the sentencing date. So when I reached out to New Jersey yesterday, they did confirm that yes, they are going to postpone it as well. Since it is contingent on him being sentenced, they don't have a date yet. They will get that ironed out at some point. So it has, as Trump does, he has managed to kick the can down the road a few months.
Let's talk about that a little bit. We talked about some Trump loopholes a few weeks ago. Now, does it look like he has a few more workarounds in light of that Supreme Court immunity ruling?
Well, in this case, he gets a delay. In the other states, he does seem to have a better workaround. His as a golf club in Los Angeles, and when I spoke to a representative there at the California ABC, he said that Trump is fine. The fact that it is Donald Trump Jr.'s name on the license and that the company is owned by a trust of which Trump is not a trustee takes care of any of California's requirements. The other states we reached out to, including Virginia, Illinois, they at first said he's not on there. I pointed out that the string of companies does lead back to him, and we haven't heard back from a lot of those states. So still up in the air what those other states are going to do.
So, as we know, as you just mentioned, he does have other businesses in other states, other liquor licenses. Is New Jersey being the strictest here, or does Jersey just operate on a different set of rules from these other states?
The rules seem to be somewhat similar. I mean, yes, each state writes its own liquor laws, but moral turpitude is a phrase that showed up in several of them. But a lot of this, with New Jersey, they say specifically that a lot of it comes down to the discretion of the head of the ABC. And that's one thing that we are seeing is that it really comes down to the discretion of local officials. That was the case in D.C. when he had the hotel here a few years ago, and it was pre-felony conviction, but there was a group that came after his liquor license of the hotel here. And at first, I mean, in D.C., obviously very, very liberal, but the ABC wanted nothing to do with it. At first, they dismissed it, saying it wasn't the appropriate time. You could only contest it when it was coming up for renewal. Then when it was coming up for renewal, the DC ABC threw it out again, saying that the people who brought the complaint, enough of them were not from DC for them to consider. So you could certainly see local officials having some leeway here. And that's what we're seeing for New Jersey. I mean, they've decided that they do, in fact, want to pursue this. They could have possibly said something similar to what California said or what some of these other states have done, which is just not even respond.